today, but that is OBKB. Welcome, welcome everybody to our Thursday mastermind call. We're so excited that everybody have joined us today. All the great things that are happening. People are joining the business. Things are working out great. So I'm just gonna say a short thing. Rick has some great stuff he wants to share with us. But I was reading or listening to some motivated speaker. You know how we're always learning and continuing on. And one thing I heard was, you are the CEO of your life, and you have to hire and fire accordingly. And I thought that was real good because you control it. Nobody else does but you. So welcome, 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 everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Rick. Rick, you ready?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh. Yep, loud and clear.
Let me pull this mic up.
Yeah.
It's already the end of January. Can you imagine that? But things are moving right along. And one of the things I just wanted to just share is we've got spring break coming up. Actually, we've got the Super Bowl coming up, and we have spring break coming up. And I don't know if I guess Ron is not on yet, but one of the things I wanted to just kind of go over real quick here is the opportunities that we have with the vortex and how powerful the vortex is. And so Ron brought a church on Res Life and Res Life Church, and they of course came on with the vortex as well as the entire package, the travel package, but in particular the vortex. And I just wanted to go through just briefly here, the thing I put together for their spring break and the spring break travel guide and passport to giving. And as you know, passporttogiving.com, passporttogiving.com takes us to information on the passport. And let's make sure. Okay. And but this, what you see here is the Res Life Spring Break Travel Guide 2026 and Empowering Lives Through Travel. And so I want to just kind of go through this real quick here. And this is a program or a guide that we put together for churches, for organizations. And within here, we talk about vision and purpose. We talk about the best spring break dates. We talk about the top spring break destinations. Now, billions of dollars are going to be made in online travel and people booking for spring break, booking for the Super Bowl. The document talks about travel planning tips, how the Vortex fundraiser works, announcements that can be made, and script for announcements. And so I'm going to go through this kind of quick, but just to give you that feel, that flow. So let's say the pastor is all in, and they are all in. As a church, we believe in the mission. We believe the mission doesn't pause when we travel. In fact, it can be strengthened through it. And this is a letter that the pastor can give out or say from the pulpit. Every year, spring break sends thousands of families on journeys around the world through the Res Life Vortex Travel Program. You can put any organization or church in there. We have an opportunity to transform those journeys into resources that support missions, outreach, compassion ministries without asking families to spend more. When you book travel through the Res Life Vortex, you're doing more than planning a vacation. You're helping fund the work of the gospel locally and globally, supporting missionaries, outreach, efforts and real needs in real communities. Scripture reminds us that faith is expressed through action, and this is a simple, practical way for all of us to participate in the mission. No fundraising events, no additional giving required, just wide stewardship of what we're already doing. Now, that just makes sense. I encourage every family, individual, and group to prayerfully consider using the Res Life Vortex Travel Portal as you plan your spring break travel. Together, we can allow every journey to serve a greater purpose. Thank you for being a church that lives the mission wherever God sends us. Now, isn't that cool? Any comments on that?
That's awesome.
Do
So yeah,
Res
that works real
Life,
good.
go ahead.
I said that's awesome. That sounds real good.
Isn't it? Through Res Life
Yeah.
Vortex Travel Portal, every day travel becomes an opportunity to advance the gospel or whatever the vision is of whomever. I encourage every family to use this platform as a simple way to support missions when they travel. And so, in this package, the vision and the purpose, spring break travel, can be transformed into meaningful acts of stewardship to help fund missions, youth ministry, passport to giving, empowering lives through travel, and even throwing a scripture in there, Hebrews 10:24. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Travel with the purpose of spring break. Spring break is one of the most popular travel seasons of the year, and now it can be also one of the most impactful for our church, for our organization, for our business. By booking travel through the Res Life Vortex Travel Portal, every trip helps fund church outreach, saves families up to 60%, turns everyday travel into a perpetual fundraiser at no extra cost. This is travel that gives back. Open up your free account, myvortex365.com, Res Life. Now, the best spring break travel dates. So the church is going to get this, and they have one of the largest outreach programs in Buffalo. In fact, the largest outreach program in Buffalo. They're going to be using this to raise money to open a grocery store where people can come in and shop. The spring break travel dates. The peak travel, highest demand, the 7th through the 15th of March, the 14th through the 22nd of March. The best value with the fewer crowds. And so the church is using this information March 1st through the 6th, the 23rd through April 5th. And departing Tuesday or Wednesday often delivers the best airfare hotel pricing. Now, the top destinations, as you see here, you got Orlando, Miami, Cancun, Punta Cana, Puerto Rico, Aruba, Jamaica, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, San Diego, Gulf Shores, Myrtle Beach, we just came back from there, Nassau, Bahamas, Costa Rica, Paris, France, even overseas. Hotel, cruises, rental cars booked through the Vortex help support the outreach. Flights are going to be comparatively priced. Now, here's some planning tips. Book early, compare inside the Vortex. Bundle hotels and cars for extra value. Now, you really can't bundle through, but you can get them both, and it's going to save you money. The reason we don't bundle is we get deep savings on both. Be flexible with dates. Share the portal with friends and family. Everyone saves, the church earns. The Vortex account is private, it's secure, and it's free. Now, how does it work? Open your free Vortex, book the travel you're already planning. You save money versus the public travel sites, the lowest internet travel prices. We earn as a church 100% of the savings generated. Now, those funds will fuel ministry, outreach, and community. No selling, no added costs, just intentional travel. Ready to travel with purpose? Open up your free account today. Sign up in under 60 seconds. Book hotels, cruises, car rentals. Save big, support the mission. Folks, we are there. Billions of dollars will be made, and we want to ride it. We want to ride spring break. We want to ride the Super Bowl. The congregation marketing message. So they can put this out in their newsletters, on their website. Travel, save, give back. Spring break is coming. Your next trip can support Res Life Church. When you book through the portal, you're saving money and you're helping out our outreach, our community programs. Free to join, no added cost, travel with purpose. And so the church can now go through this guide and pull out what they need. Thank you for helping us make an impact. Every booking matters. Every trip tells a story. Together, we can transform spring break travel, Super Bowl travel into lives changed, communities served, faith put into action. Now, so the church can come back for all those major events that's going to be occurring throughout the year. They can just plug in that event and get that message out. Turn spring break, turn Super Bowl into a blessing, turn summer break into a blessing. And see, and this is something that anyone can do, whether it's a church, whether it's an organization. Turn your spring break into a blessing. What if your next vacation could save you money and support our cause at the same time? With our travel portal, missions outreach, community member services, local and global impact initiatives, no extra cost, no selling, just intentional travel. See, folks, we're talking intentional travel. Save up to 60%. Vortex pricing beats the lowest internet price 85 to 90% of the time. And we as a church, as an organization, as a business, as an individual, earn 100% of the savings generated free, private, secure. Best spring break travel dates, top spring break destinations, how it works. Open your free account today. Scan the QR code. We've got a QR code. And so you've got Res Life Travel. Every journey makes an impact. And so announcement examples. And so Linda's going to be putting this out there. Dear Res Life parents and families, spring break is just around the corner. And so they're going to be leading up to spring break. And many families begin making travel plans. We want to share a simple opportunity to save money and support our church at the same time. When you book your Super Bowl trip, your spring break travel, your summer break travel through the Res Life portal, you save up to 60%. Every booking helps fund youth ministry, missions, community outreach, at no additional cost to you. So there's no obligation. There's no selling involved. It's simply a smarter way to book travel you were already planning while giving back to the ministries that serve our kids, students, and families. It's free to join, easy to use. Now you can travel with purpose. Open up your account here, myvortex365 / Res Life Travel. Thank you for being part of a church that finds creative ways to steward resources and impact lives, even through everyday moments like family travel. Are you kidding me? No, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. A 30-second stage announcement. Church family, spring break is coming. And this year, your vacation can do more than help you rest. Now it can help our church reach more people. You know, we want to build a grocery store. Right now, we're handing out thousands of bags every single day. They're coming because of what's happening in our economy. It's increasing. We want to open a grocery store where they can come in and they can shop. And we don't have to hand out bags, but they can get what they need. And we're raising $100,000 to do that. So book through our Vortex. Free to join, easy to use, and it turns everyday travel into blessings. Travel smarter, give faithfully, and let's make an impact together. We've got where they can put a text out. Jinx, spring break is coming. You can save on our site, open that free portal. Spring break bookings are filling fast. Before you book anywhere else, check our site. Save money and support our church mission. It's easy, it's free, and it's purpose driven. The youth pastor can get up there and spring break for families and youth, travel with purpose. Spring break is a time to rest, to reconnect, to make memories. And now it's also a way to support Res Life Church. So when families book travel through Res Life Church, you can save money, support our missions and youth programs, travel confidently knowing that your trip is given back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. The youth pastor even. Spring break. So the church can go through this. The pastor, Ron and Linda, they can go through this. They can say, okay, let's put this out on WhatsApp. It's a short, warm, action oriented. You know, they can go through and open that free portal. And so they can pick and choose the content that they want. And they can actually have the 3-week spring break text countdown sequence. Week 3, as we're walking up and leading toward spring break. Awareness. Hey, we've got a site. Week 2, that's week 3. Week 2, value and purpose. Did you know your spring break trip can fund the things that we're trying to do just by booking differently? Hey, go to this site. And then week 1, urgency. And so we're getting in the driver's seat, folks. Spring break bookings are filling fast. Before you book anywhere else, check the church portal. Save while giving back. And again, the announcements, how it works, planning those trips. Hey, even a website landing page. Make some changes. Put some changes on your website landing page. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Romans 10:15. Free to join. Dot, 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 dot. The landing page. The headlines, Spring Break 2026, Travel with Purpose. Now, the whole purpose of this is a spring break travel guide. But as you can see, this content is going to be the same for whatever event, whatever occasion, whatever holiday. Save on travel, support missions, strengthen our community. That's the content. Open your free site. That's the content. Here's the link. Why this matters. Turn everyday travel into ministry impact. Excuse me, and for this copy, you can put any event in front of spring break. Super Bowl is one of the busiest travel days of the year, weekends of the year. By booking through Res Life Vortex, you can save money while helping fund our missions, our youth, our community outreach at no extra cost. Here's how it works. Best travel windows, top destinations, who you're supporting. The final call to action. This can be like on the webpage. Ready to book with purpose? Click here. Open your free Res Life travel portal. Res Life, passport to giving through travel. Wow, wow, wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's incredible. Any comments? Do you see where this can benefit? Can I be heard?
You can be heard, and yet where it can be beneficial to a church if they implement it.
My
Any
my
feedback?
my same sentiments, Brenda. I was trying to find my button. Yes, that is. I had saw that you placed that out before, and I was um trying to waiting for this to come about for you to put a little more explanation into it with me. But it is beneficial, and I think it would help. It would definitely help me in introducing it to my church.
And we're here to help you. So
Yes.
you're not by yourself. We're here to help you. And the other thing is, so these are, oh, this is it. So the program for Res Life, this is what started it. So when they came on board, we created this as a program. And general information for the church. And their goal was to raise $100,000 to basically fund all the different programs that they have, the missions, the outreach, the member services. Well, here's Ron. And to unlock and to walk through them through the next steps and putting together their fundraising campaign and to unlock that private vortex portal. Why open the private vortex, exclusive access, total privacy, hassle-free bookings, trust and security, and of course, passport to giving. Welcome, Ron. And open your church vortex. So this gave them an idea of what the vortex was all about,
Mhm.
how it works, sign up, book, give back. This is so cool. A percentage of your booking automatically supports Res Life missions and
Yes.
outreach programs. No extra steps, just a world of good. Returns for you, exclusive discounts, feel good travel, cost conscious giving, and as Ron would say, stewardship. Activating that travel program, activating that personal, private Vortex travel portal. Your journey starts here. And so we can also create a QR code. So Darlene, yeah, you wouldn't be by yourself in this. You would open the door and then we would just talk to whomever
Oh, that's great.
on your behalf. So you don't have to try to explain it. Oh, we're here.
You got me pegged, huh?
And so yeah,
Seriously, he has our back. It's serious.
I didn't get that last part, but that's okay. But that's the vortex. And so what's available on the vortex? So this is something we can put together once the church comes on board. So Glenda Chantel, this is something we can do for the church with the bishop. What's available on the vortex, and it goes through, and so it lets them know that you're getting money for the hotels, cruises, and cars, and what's not available. Flights are competitively priced. Money and reward credits are not available. Are taxes displayed in the results? Yes. They're going to save money 85 to 90% of the time. Now, for cruising, they can search to find the cruise, but they've got to call them. That's really cool, is that, a lot of people don't know how to book cruises. So to get those savings, to get those best deals, they can do the search through the site. But then when they get to the end of the search, it gives them a number to call.
Mhm.
And the cruise department through Surge will help them book it and give them a quote and the whole bit. Of course,
Mhm.
they have the chat features available. Um, the reservations are found under my account. If you want, once you book something, you can go to my account and you can see all the different reservations, travel reservations that you make. Frequently asked questions, value guarantee, sign up today, and these were some kind of like brochures or flyers that the church can actually do and put out. And Linda Clayton put out some really good information, with the QR code. They've done several different things to support, this whole implementation. So this is the travel program. And then, of course, we have the spring break specifically for spring break. And so we
Mhm.
can do, any event coming. It may be summer coming. It may be the holiday season. It may be fall break. It may be
Family
whatever.
reunions.
What's that?
Family reunions are.
Family reunions. So a church may be doing, and that's a good point. The church may be doing a family reunion. And so imagine being able to put something like that together for the church's family reunion. And one of the things that we were talking about on the radio show yesterday, and I just think this is the coolest. We have such, you know, here's how I make millions, and here's how you can make millions. We have the tool, and this is why you want to make sure that you understand the tools that you have and what you have to offer for the people who actually do the work. And we talked about that on last Thursday, that we have connectors, we have mavens, people who collect information to share information. We have salespeople, we have builders as four types people that move things in this world, that connect, that sell, that share information in this world, that build things in this world. What we're doing, regardless of whatever type, is we're becoming experts in particular tools to share to these four types so that when they show up, you have the information that these four types need. So, following that as a process, I make millions. Following that as an understanding that I can focus on becoming the expert in a particular tool that those four types need. Otherwise, they're stuck to making millions. They just have information. They just have whatever, 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 whatever. They don't have it. They don't have access. And so in YTB, the legacy company, I understand that as an understanding. I have a tool, YTB, that I need to share with someone when they show up that may be a connector, a maven, a salesperson, a builder. And so I put my focus on becoming that expert, studying like it's a college course, becoming that expert in YTB, at least knowing it, at least knowing a couple of lines or something. Those people show up, a salesperson, builder shows up. I give him, in this case, the tool. He makes millions, I override the millions he makes. Does that make sense? I can focus on the thing, and then those four types of people will show up like clockwork. They're not showing up because you don't have anything to offer them. And you're not intentional in understanding. And I'm sharing with you now the process that you actually control, that I control, that we control. Learn what you have, and the people will show up that need the tool. You pass the tool. That's why you hear me say, I make millions through overrides and referrals and commissions and bonuses and residuals because I understand the tool, share the tool for the people that know how to do what they do. They take the tool, and now we have ways to override the work that they do we get paid for sharing the tool and sharing the knowledge. If you can do that, you like Brenda and I will make millions by passing on tools that those four types of people need. Powerful understanding, powerful way. We have access to the tool search. So what I want to, before I go on, any comments to anything I've said or shown? Let's do this. Powerful, powerful stuff here, folks. If you get this, you are like in there. If you get this, you got my secret to making millions. It's not even a secret. Um, right? Okay, so let's do this. I always like to show by example. Everybody here, I'm gonna send you Super Bowl tickets and airline tickets and accommodation tickets for the Super Bowl. Okay, so you see the vortex. Let's get accommodations for the Super Bowl. Your tickets are in the mail, not really, but your tickets are in the mail. And so where's the Super Bowl? In Santa Clara. Santa Clara. In Santa Clara, California. So let's say you are an organization, a club. Let's say you are, Seattle Nation or Patriots Nation or whatever, Super Bowl. I just love going to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be, I believe, on the 8th. And so let's say you wanted to go the 6th to the 9th, Santa Clara. And so let's say you are part of Res Life Church and you want to go to the Super Bowl. And the pastor makes those statements as I just read. Hey, book it through the vortex. And so you look at Santa Clara and you say, I'm going to make a weekend out of this. And 169 hotels come up. And you look and say, well, I really like the Marriott. Now, I hope Cupertino is right near there. But to save $796, that's not a bad deal. But let me keep looking here. You know what? We really like the Westin because we like the 4 stars. Save $1,400. That's not too bad. But I'm not that sophisticated. I can go with the Morgan Inn. All right, no. Let's go with the extended stay. And we'll save $170. So instead of paying $1,038, we'll pay, including tax, $868 for that weekend. That's reasonable. Let's go ahead and book this. And so let's say they book it. Oh, wait, I like the stay bridge. Nah, let's stay extended stay. Stay bridge inns are pretty good too. But we all know extended stays. We can get the kitchenette and so forth. And so we book it, including taxes and fees. And so 1078 save 170. The savings that's made through the vortex is the earnings of Res Life Church. So Res Life Church just made $170, which is pretty good. And for any of these, the earnings of the church are the savings of the customer that gets this free link, the traveler that gets this free link. But you know what? I don't want to stay in Santa Clara. I want to stay in San Francisco and then drive to Santa Clara. We want to make this like a real vacation. Let's stay in San Francisco. Same time period. Let's do a search. San Fran, we can go and all that seafood in San Fran. We can go to Fisherman's Wharf. Oh, man. Okay, so San Francisco, 148 hotels. Hmm. Well, the Hampton Inn, that's kind of a pretty neat name, well-known name. Saves $388 as a traveler. Now, the church would make 388. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's take a look here. What other hotels we may have? A lot of different hotels. So what I would do, and of course we would book through the members program, but I would look under travel trip advisor for any of these hotels. Here's one I can definitely know the name of. Holiday Inn Express. I probably would pick this, but Fisherman's Wharf is right there. And that's a pretty good deal, going over to Fisherman's Wharf. 1834, save $212. So I'm paying 1662, 1623, and they have a little fee, I guess, $98 fee at the property, and that's fine. So if I go to Expedia, I'm going to see that same fee, but I'm not going to see a savings of $212. But let's choose this one, and let's go there, the Fisherman's Wharf. And so the church, Res Life Church, makes $212, and I save $212. That's not bad. So you're looking at all these different hotels. So you may choose just to stay at the Fisherman's Wharf, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. So you can see how this is. Now, before I move on, I would love to see, because if we're traveling, we're going and traveling as with our membership. So I'm going to log in here as a member and let's see, because you're going to travel as a member and and you're going to book as a member. Okay, so let's take a look through the membership at San Francisco, going to the Super Bowl. And again, we're looking at the 6th, the 9th. Okay, let's do a search. And let's see, in particular, for that Holiday Inn Express, what we would pay. Go ahead and mute your phone so we don't get your feedback. So if I scroll down, here's that. Look at this. I may even consider the Hampton Inn, saving 828 bucks. But let's scroll down. So this is through the membership, deeper savings. This is how we travel through the membership. Wow. So that Holiday Inn saves $423. So instead of paying $18.34, the public price on Expedia, let's look at compare the public price. So look, the Expedias and the Pricelines and everybody of the world, they're all in cahoots, right? And so instead of paying that Expedia price, 1848, because the vortex goes out and it looks at that price, I'm paying $1,411 and I'm earning 1,417 reward credits that roll back to me. So let's see here the vortex. The vortex says 212, which is still not bad for a free complimentary link. Now, the church is going to make that 212, and for every dollar they spend of this like $1,600, they're going to earn anywhere from 1 to 3 reward credits that also roll back to them. So the church is accumulating reward credits as well as money. And so corporate level reward credits, corporate level money. Now you got an entire congregation that's going to be traveling spring break, or this just happens to be the Super Bowl. But you've got how many people going to the Super Bowl? Man, that's powerful. Okay, so you guys get the idea. Now, spring break. Let's go to spring break. And let's go to Orlando. Millions of people are going to be traveling spring break. Now, if anybody has any comments or questions, stop me anytime. And so let's say the 8th through the 15th, spring break. The 8th through the 15th. And Orlando. We got the kids going, we got everybody going. It's going to be a great time. And so this is the vortex. So where do you want to stay? You've got the Embassy Suites, which are pretty good. I like the Embassy Suites. So for that time period, we're saving $402. Margaritaville, 4 points. Hey, Holiday Inn right there on International Drive. Nice, safe place. Well, I'm pretty ritzy. 5-star. I only go 5-star. Let's stay at the Waldorf. I'm saving $1,400. Right? Wow. I always stay the Marriott. I love the Marriott. We always stay. I'm saving 500. So this is the vortex. This is the vortex. We went one time with the company, and we stayed on the property, Disney property. They took everybody, invited everybody to Disney, paid for us, and we stayed right there on the Disney property. The Westgate. Man, Residence Inn. So you can see the savings. You can see the savings. The savings are the earnings of Res Life Travel. The church travel, the boardwalk. Ooh, look at that. Save $2,000. Red Line Inn. You can't beat this. Okay, let's just go Holiday Inn. Kissimmee, however you pronounce it. It'll save still 128. That's still pretty powerful. The Hilton, love the Hilton. Okay, so you can see this. This is just amazing, folks. Now, let's go through the membership because this is the vortex. You know, the owner of the vortex earns 100% of whatever is saved, and for every dollar that's spent by that traveler, that client, they're earning 1 to 3 reward credits. Okay, that's all rolling up to the owner of the vortex. But let's take a look, just for grins, at Orlando through the members program. This is how you'll travel. Okay. Now I recommend practicing this, folks. Like I'm going through here now. Practice that. You know, practice going to the site. 8th through the 15th. And hopefully you've opened up your own vortex through another email so you can always see. Now, look at this, the Coronado. You're saving $3,807. The Embassy Suites, $904. This is how you have to travel. The Marriott Village, Margaritaville, 4 Points, Sheraton, the Holiday Inn Express. Instead of paying $1,369, why not pay $787, right? I really only like staying at 5 stars. Okay, that's fine. But instead of paying $6,770, why not save 2,000, almost $3,000 and pay $3,930? Wow. Even staying on the property, Disney Wilderness Lodge. I guess that's not on the property, but this is like a big deal. Instead of paying 8,000, man, imagine saving. Now, if a 5 star, if a person through the vortex was saving through the vortex, that comes back. But if a person has a membership, they're saving $3,425. That's amazing to me. The Residence Inn, Disney Boardwalk. Look at that. You guys get the idea. That's so powerful, so powerful. So money coming in, savings through the members program. And so whether it be a family reunion or whatever kind of event, you know, whatever it may be, you know, we are there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to pull this up. By the way, we do have a new presentation. But I want to pull this up because I think it's a very powerful statement. Any comments before I go on? From anyone?
Say it's just getting the word out there is the most important. We're
Now,
having,
okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. For a second.
okay.
Let me, okay. Getting the word out there. I can tell you from Linda and Ron, These are relationships.
Hmm.
You can't just get, and even from Chantel and Glenn, these are relationships that have been built, trusting relationships that have been built over time. Something like this, and we've all been here, you can't even just get the word out. Why? People don't believe you. They're like, yeah, right. You got to see those kind of savings. You have that kind of access. Like, we're just regular people, right? And they're looking at you like, you said, you're telling me that you have this access to the same money as Expedia that makes billions. That's what you're telling me? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Now, if you have a relationship where you've shown that you're trustworthy, that you've shown that your word matters, it means something. And now they're like, Linda, how long did it take you to get that kind of a relationship through the church? How many events did you guys put on?
Well, a couple of weeks we're hosting again the Valentine banquet, which we've done every
Your
year.
your sound is a little off.
Well, it's my computer.
Oh, it's okay. We can kind of hear you.
We're hosting our Valentine banquet, and I will have the wonderful flyer that you built, that you developed, and we have we'll have another presentation to the church, probably the end of February, beginning of March, and inviting everyone. And that's what I meant by getting the word out. Our pastors are on board with this, and we just have to, have people understand, just show them, you know,
How long were you in the church? Because it's not just
um,
getting the word out.
probably, yeah, probably, we've been there about 4 years at this church.
And it took almost that long for
Right,
you guys to be able to really get the traction
right.
and the confidence through your own personal experience of giving,
Mhm.
giving, giving to make a relationship, with Pastor, is it Merrick, him and his wife, the
Dave,
church lead, yeah, Dave,
yeah,
Pastor
Dave
Dave,
and Trish.
to even get a
Wonderful.
relationship with them that they would believe you,
Yes, yes. Volunteering, being there, being active.
faithful. You guys were faithful, you were active, you weren't
Hmm.
just there to take, you weren't
Right.
fly by, drive by,
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, Darlene, yes, you can do that. Like Darlene she's been everything to the church, as her word has credibility, just like that. And so that's a foot in the door. What would you say, Chantel,
I
about
would
that
say
whole
it's
deal?
all about the relationship and be willing to put in the time. A lot of what's happening with us is people know us in the community because we go to these places. We're around them. They hear our hearts. They see our eyeballs. We are investing into the communities where we are all over the country. If we show up, we're not empty handed. It's just a part of who we are, and this is way before any of the thought of building a company with this is way before that. We were already given. If you could see our giving statement, it would blow you away. But that's our heartbeat. We come from that. We've always wanted to bless people, communities. If I see you're working on a project, I like that project. Let's give towards that. So that's Glenn and I. That's our family heartbeat. And I love what Ron and Linda are doing because you are the people. You are the people in your community, even in your neighborhood. People around here know our faces. They're learning who we are because they see us all around here. And they start talking to you. You can just be sitting somewhere. Okay. I've been in this restaurant. I've been to that restaurant. Or I've been over here to this coffee. They know me by name over here. Okay. They know us when we're moving around. Oh, I know that family. I may not know them by name, but I see them. I like the hat you're wearing today.
Just simple little things. And Darlene is the Pied Piper over there. You're talking generations deep. Adrian and Willie Tillman, same thing. Ed Taylor, my cousin, same community people. That's what it's. I would say share, be who you are, your natural self. You don't have to break down any doors. The doors are open. And when they see you come with that smile and they're sitting there and they say, I'm working on something. Can you help me with this project?
Well,
Go. Thank you.
um,
Back to you.
thank you, Chantel. I'm on my third pastor for the years that I've been there. This is the
Wow.
youngest pastor that I've had. My past, the last pastor that I had, he did use my services, but I was never given the opportunity to introduce it to the church. So this way, this time I'm going to go through the trustees with this new pastor to see if there's something that I can implement.
Let me
So
So,
ask you this. With the trustees, how long have you been with the trustees?
there's trustees that, well, I won't say there's really none of the trustees that have been there as long as I have. They're all the old ones are gone. We've got new ones. The oldest one there is probably been there the last 20 years, maybe.
Okay, okay, but it's still a lot.
hey, Ron, you may want to sign out and sign back in again so that you see if your sound clears up. There's a
Okay, I'm
sound
going up
problem.
to the living room. Okay, I'm changing computers.
Yeah, sign out. I think it's okay. If you sign out, just log out, and then log back in again.
And Glenn can tell you, even when we went in, they sat with Bishop before we met him, and then even Bishop Robertson, same thing. Glenn was with him for years, and then
I'm
I
in
was
the
introduced
presentation.
to him. And then when you go in with the board, and even when we went in
Okay.
with Bishop this
All right.
last time, we
Sure.
went in. I mean, it was very casual, and Bishop's like that. He's just a real everyday person, beautiful heart about community, and he saw the opportunity. And then Rick came in, and we just had a regular conversation, but we showed him the company. We
Okay.
showed him the opportunity of what is the fullness of what's in your hands. How far can you go with this tool in your hands?
Mm-hmm.
And he agreed and said, I see that. We are working on some projects and we can use this tool to bring in the fundings that we need. And then he has other partners that he
Mm-hmm.
already start listening. And he says, I want to introduce this to them as well. So um that's my little piece right there. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
That's awesome. So go ahead, Ron. I'm mute. Go ahead, Ron. Unmute. Unmute your computer.
How's that?
Hey, perfect.
He's back. I just want to thank you. I'm going to be able to get on the call today and connect with the team. It's so important and it's so enlightening and it's so empowering. And I know everybody else on the call that's listening in realizes what we have as a team. We build synergy with each other. One of the great things about when Rick first introduced the concept of funding by travel to us, first of all, it made sense to me. Now, if you're at a point where you hear this, but there's areas that you don't connect with, get in touch with Rick or myself, and let's talk about it. The big key is all this. When I went and I chatted with my pastor, I made an appointment with him and I talked to him. I made it like during the week and I didn't make it during a special time when his attention was all over. I was picked a quiet week and I went into him and I offered, first of all, to introduce him to Rick. Okay, that's a magic potion right there. I said, Pastor, I have this project and I know it could help us to fund our food bank and missions and do all the things. And instead of doing, the car washes and the sidewalk candy bar sales, we've got something that's not just legitimate, it's honorable. And quite honestly, it would extend our ability to help our church be better stewards. of the money that runs through our church. And we'd include everybody. And there was no, I said, it's a win win situation. Let me introduce you to my partner. So you know you're aware that Linda and I own a travel agency. You've seen us do it. Now I'd like you to know this project because I believe it can be extremely powerful. And we're not just talking about nickels and dimes, but there's other benefits that will serendipities that will enable the church to do extensive additional things. And then we're not asking the church to do anything but listen to the concepts. And then we contacted, I had a meeting set up with Rick, and we just went live. The rest is history.
It's true. It's true. And but it was based on Ron and Linda's relationship in introducing me. They had the relationship, I had the information. And so it would be the same thing, Darlene. And same thing with Glenn and Chantel. They had the relationship, I had the information, and where they could just bring me in to just explain what the program was all about. And we were just kind of bouncing back and forth because they actually had the information too and the relationship. Like Ron had the information and the relationship, but another person coming in, such as myself. So here's what I want you to understand: our team, and of course, Chris, you're part of our team, is that with information, you can make millions in overrides because you have a tool that allows you to do that. The first go around of YTB, our legacy company, I brought a salesman builder in, understanding what I just shared with you, that I have the information and the tool that I can provide to someone who, in the four types of people, is a salesperson and a builder, that I can give to them and make money through residuals, overrides, bonuses, right? Millions, not money, millions through residuals, overrides. Everybody on this call has the ability to do that if they would put time in understanding their business as a craft, as a tool worth studying. GoTeamGet.com as a site worth studying with pencil and paper that provides information on everything about this business. Everything you see on GoTeamGet.com is information that I understand and know. And that if you were to say, okay, I want to understand and know what Rick knows, I'm going to go to this site and I'm going to study each tab, right? I'm going to go through the presentation tab. I'm going to go through the vortex tab, the webinars tab. I'm going to go through each of these tabs to understand, what is the membership? What is the that. To understand what Rick understands and knows. I still make a lot of money by sharing the information that we have as a tool. You may not be the person to sell. You may not be the person to build, but you got to be the person to know. The leader is the one that knows. So the gentleman that I brought on board back in 2005, just came back on board in 2025 and picks up where he left off in building a company, making the $50,000 bonus, da 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 da. But I can tell you, I was the leader that brought him on board with an intention. The same thing that I did back then with companies that I'm working with globally, I'm passing on information, even from what we all know on this call, to them to once again make millions by sharing information with the people who know how to do the thing that they know how to do naturally. That is a way that you actually make millions in this world. When you have tools and you use those tools to create skill sets that are needed as a service within community, within ministry, within business, because it goes across all those areas. When a person truly understands that to the point where they understand that their focus is learning their gifts, their talents, their skills, and developing those gifts, those talents, those skills. The people groups that we talked about, whether they be connectors, whether they be connectors who can connect the world naturally, this is what they do in society. They are connectors. Whether they be mavens, this is what they do in society globally. They are mavens that can get information and share it with groups that trust them, that know them. Whether they be salespeople, this is what they do in society. These are types of people in society that are the glue that cause movement in society, or whether they be builders. We have the ability, now I'm all of those, but I have the ability to step aside and learn something and understand my gifts, talents, and skills and how it applies. And when these folks, now here's a key point. The law of attraction, you will attract to your level of understanding and no more. You will attract people to the level. If you're running into a lot of people that are just, oh my gosh, what do I? That's where we are. I run into the level of the people that understand who I am and where I'm at. Now, how does that work? Like Ron runs into those people that are like-minded. Glenn and Chantel run into those people who are like-minded. Chris runs into those people. Adrian, Darlene, Glenn, Ed, everybody on this call, you will run into people who are like-minded. Your inner conversation creates your outer reality. You will run into people who are at the same level of the understanding of your inner conversation. It's
Hello,
amazing how
Rick.
that works. Go right ahead.
Yes. One thing that we need to understand, and I'm back on my feet this week. Praise the Lord. I appreciate the prayers. Uh, and there was a lot of revelation flowing during that time. Use your downtime wisely.
It's good. It's
Uh,
good.
but one thing we have to understand is the culture and the original vision of the founders, Coach Kim Sorensen. They drug Scott along, but he came along, and like some of us. And the vision that Coach had was not by chance or accident. Coach was in those inner circles with the big ballers. He was in those circles. What we're seeing now, the strategies are not new. These strategies have been planned for generations, and now they are initiating them. Coach was an insider on that, and he could have been on the other side of that. But when he saw it and the vision that he was given, now that's why he did what he did to set us up for now. And he mentored Chris Coakley with that same intensity to take the baton like we have been given, to take it into what's happening right now. I want to urge everybody, and I started to share a bunch of notes from the Winners Win call, but we're not doing that anymore. I'm going to urge you to listen to the heart of the ownership now, plug into the vision. Chris Coakley laid nuggets out. I got 2 pages of notes, and I was so fired up after his Winners Win. It's the I think he said those run like 2 or 3 months behind once he does them live on Saturday. But the one that played this past Wednesday, and they play it Wednesday mornings um, in the back office, so you can join on there. I think it's 8 o'clock Pacific, so you can adjust to your time zone. And the date was the 28th of January 2026. Go and listen to that call. You will be inspired. One other thing I wanted to share that we learned, the company's policies now, 6 months. If your site has been off, suspended for 6 months, the policy used to be you can restart. I don't care when you dropped out. No longer. 6 months, you are purged from the system. You cannot come back and just pay the monthly fee and reactivate. You have to pay $500 again to get back in. You don't want to do that. So we have been going through our list to see who do we have, and we had a reactivation, a huge reactivation this week that they let slide. I'll say, but that's our company. That's the heart of our company. But they were able to reactivate. But I want to give everyone the chance who invested in this to know that, look, you still have the chance to fulfill your dreams, and this is the tool to do it. Back to you, Rick.
Amen. Anybody else?
I have to piggyback on that. That was absolutely a phenomenal training. And yes, it is. It is 8 a.m. What I'm learning, we are coming into the fullness of who we are as
Good.
leaders, as people in the earth right now, positioned and chosen to be here right now in whatever city, whatever state, wherever you are the chosen to lead the earth right now.
It's true.
And we have to take the time, or we get to choose to. We're in a whole new year. It's a new day. I woke up with that this morning. You could hear me all the way down the street. It's a new day. What am I bringing forth here? What energy am I bringing into this new day? No matter what's going on, I love what we have invested in since March the 9th, 2007. It was the day that awakened another level of seeds that have been planted in us for generations. This is in our family lineage. These mantles we wear and are wearing, some of them are being awakened at high levels now, but
It's
they were
true.
always in us. And so as he's talking about the people that you're drawing, Coach Thomas was drawing us and we was drawing him. Come on.
True.
And when we stepped into that arena and that mantle fell on us, it was like the most comfortable thing, really, because we knew each other. We already had that in us, and we were like, okay, wherever you take us, because we were already traveling. We had been all over in Europe with our children. Had about, man, love it. I'm looking at the reward trip in Italy right now. Right now, right? I went in there since we're talking on the spiritual level.
Always.
I want you to know, Rick, I went in on Monday night and took the spiritual gift survey. And my highest one was shepherding. I was like, whoa,
A
shepherding,
second.
mercy showing, and administration, which I was still, as I looked into administration, because I think I read
Wow.
that wrong, I was thinking, oh, I'm not the person sitting in the office just taking notes. That's not what that's about.
No, that's organizing and
Okay, I
planning.
was like, what?
That's
The
good.
next one, prophecy. I mean, evangelism.
Wow.
A lot of exhortation is in me. Of course, you know that teaching, prophecy. But those
Wow.
were my highest ones. Serving is in there, giving is high too.
Wow. That shepherding is right on.
I was
Yeah.
like, hello?
Oh man.
You
You
That's
know,
gonna
it's,
do the choosing, okay?
that is awesome. Let me share one nugget off of that call, winner's win call. Like I said, go listen to that
that's good,
call.
Chantel.
That's awesome, Chantel. I want to just put this note in there. This is what he said. We have the opportunity to build enough wealthy people or organizations or causes to make a difference. And that's the truth. Look at what's happening. 16,000 more laid off at Amazon. It's master the art of flushing the negative past. Back to you, Rick.
It's true. It's true. And if when you understand the powers that really move things, it flows through you and what you're willing to do and sacrifice and learn. You know, your Outer reality is created by your inner conversation, which you actually can control by learning something and putting the investment of time in it. And people will be drawn to you. Like every time Ron and Linda go out, they're like magnets. Things stick, stick. Every time Brenda and I go out, every time you go out, so I'm going to close on this because I want to take 5 minutes real quick. I started my day this morning, not catching up on news or anything like that, but understanding the spiritual side of it to start the day. And I was listening to a recording that I sent out to a lot of people, and I just want to just provide some nuggets on it. Your inner world is not passive, it's directive. The thing that you think is not passive, it's directive. It's not by trying hard, it's by aligning to your vision of the future that you can see. If you can see it, you can have it. You respond in life according to your story. You respond in life according to the story that you tell yourself. Change the story and everything changes. Start your day in your identity. Who are you? Who am I? What do I believe? What are God's promises? Peace the world. The world didn't give you that peace, and the world can't take it away. Just like it can't take the confidence away that that peace will give you. Choose faith over fear. This is a decree. You can actually decree things with the belief that you have. Affirmations are planted by your identity, your feelings, and it's the evidence of your belief. Your day is ready to obey. What do you command for your day? Because it's ready to obey. Intervention or intention spoken in alignment is not a request, it's a decree. So when you make an intention and you are aligned with your beliefs and your feelings and that intention, it's not a request. It actually is a decree. Thoughts will bend to your identity. It's so important to understand who you are. And we create from faith, not fear. Today I am aligned with God's plan. Today I move with clarity and purpose. Today I walk in favor and opportunity. Today I create from faith, not fear. Today I embody the highest version of myself. Your identity, who you are, will shape your belief. Your belief sharpens the vibrations of the attractions of the people. When you walk out, Ryan and Linda walk out, people stick to them. And that vibration will shape your reality. Now, check this out. I'm going to close with your timing. You always hear me say timing. My timing is always perfect. Timing doesn't happen to you, it happens from you. Every moment is the beginning. Timing determined by your consistency of assumption. What are you assuming? The delay of timing is divine preparation. And so not a period of waiting, but a period of preparation. The timing between what you're expecting and what happens is preparation. You are not subject to time. Time is actually subject to you. And so when you say my timing is always perfect, like I say my timing is always perfect, everything aligns to make that true. And Britta will tell you, if I'm late for something, oh, my time is always perfect. Something happens, right? It's not a period of waiting, it's a period of becoming. Who are you becoming in that period of waiting? My timing again is always perfect. Everything is yourself pushed out. Your conversation creates your outer reality. What are you assuming? I'm not, I'm a master, not a victim of time. I'm not bound by time. I'm creating the things within time in his name, of course. And so when you believe this, you understand, that it's impossible. Things that are impossible until somebody does it. And see, you're in the position right now to do it. So when I look back with the gentleman that I brought into Surge 365, with the whole idea that I'm going to actually learn so that I can share, I learned and I shared it with a builder, a salesman, and we made millions. That same process is happening now. The things that everybody have learned, you're ready to now share. The people will come as you call them forth. All these people come. I moved to Charleston. All these people internationally come, and I'm sharing information with them that again overrides. I don't have to work to make money. I learn, I understand the spiritual principles that God has given us that create wealth. I know I say that so easily, right? And but it's not as easy as I'm saying because there's a lot that goes on behind the scene. But that what goes on behind the scene is what Glenn and Chantel and others and Ron and Linda are doing. They're learning a craft that others need. And as they learn and become experts in this craft, the salespeople, the mavens, the connectors, the the builders, they all show up because they don't have the tool that we have. And they need the tool that we have. When you understand that, it puts you in the driver's position of understanding and knowing the secret to God's wealth and the access to God's wealth. Anybody before we jump off? I know Brenda's like, Rick.
Yes, I'm looking for time. But you know what? I want to ask everybody, uh, well, you, Rick, to confirm you're going to have the presentation tonight.
Yes, we're doing a new presentation also. It's pretty good. It looks good.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the
So,
changes.
yeah, so all those people that reactivated, they should jump on so they can hear. It's a couple of new slides. So I think that's going to be exciting. All righty.
I'm going to do the what I call it, what I call that, the play and something to watch and see or something. I do a demonstration of the products. What I'm adding is at the end a slide that talks about three and free, not going through the entire compensation, but three and free and the five to get your investment back as the next step action. And so, play, show and tell. I'm adding the show and tell so people can see the travel product. And at the end, I'm going to show how to get three and free and the five to recoup your investment. That's a slide that I'm adding to the end. And that
Yeah,
way,
that's three. That three and free is great because Rick's three and free right now. So it's so nice to see that website up and the $99 don't leave the account every month. So that's pretty cool. Anybody else?
Set your intention. We're in a new year. You decide what you want to experience.
good.
Declare it, set it. If you have not written your vision, it's a new year. Write your vision today. Don't wait all the way into the year because life gets so distracting. Things will be going on. But if it's written and you're looking at it and you put those goals in there and put some dates on it, I'm telling you what we're living from experience. And the first time we did this, which has been years and years, um, everything, and I heard Dr. Coakley said when he puts his goals down, he hit 80%, and then he surpassed that. We saw that happen in our personal team, and it was written down, and we was like checking all this stuff. I'm like, do you see this? All that stuff, and it wasn't even. It was within 3 months of writing it down, and it can happen that fast or whatever. But
What was the
write
second one,
it
Chantel?
down. Hmm?
Shepherding. What was it?
Shepherding. The next one was hold on. Mercy showing.
Mercy's your second?
It sure is, and I'm not even
Yeah, see, let me
surprised.
just say this. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it just was coming. So that's why when you drive down the street and you see the person sitting on the curb, you're like,
Oh,
Glenn,
Glenn,
Glenn, we
what
gotta
is this?
stop.
What is this? These people are coming. What's going on?
Yeah, we gotta stop. Or, the money you gave to the lady in Florida to get the hotel.
Because you know what I see? I just see real people, and every time I do that, and I think about my children being out there, my grandchildren, I said, I don't know, and all of you, you could be stopped. I've seen so many people get stopped on the side of the road, and they're just sitting there.
It's
And
a
my daughter was one of
gift.
those people one day,
That's a
and
gift.
somebody came and helped her.
That's a gift.
You know what I mean?
And so when we start operating, that's why if you haven't gone to, what is it, betterworldchangers.com, go to betterworldchangers.com and the
Hmm.
begin here tab, scroll down a little bit. There's a spiritual gifts survey
Yeah.
that you can take that will identify your top 3 ministry gifts. Mine is administration, or teaching, administration, and giving. And so you
Wow.
guys see me doing this. I do this naturally because it's a gift. Not everybody can do this, but when you understand what your gifts are, now that makes sense why, Chantel's is mercy. Now, when she starts talking about all the people that she sheds tears for and she's crying and she sees people sitting
Lord
on the side of
help.
the road, they're giving of their own resources to help people get into places to stay. That's her operating in her gift. What is yours? What is your gift? Your gift will make room for you. Now, when you take the gift and integrate it with the business and work the business through your gift, now, so this teaching that I have and this administration that I have as my gifts, the people globally are using that. And it's bringing me before a global audience, teaching and administration and giving at a high level. What is your gift? You're operating the business without an understanding of your gift. You got to know. So
You
go to
know,
Better World.
I see that even in convention having a room set aside for them to take this survey. It's a hundred questions. And it's really
And
quick.
it's free.
But I can see people once they take that and they understand, because I was like, wow, that really brings some things into clarity. And clarity is one of my words for this year. It's a big old picture in here that says clarity. Thank you, Glenn. And you can't run away from yourself. When you
You can't
become
run away
clear,
from yourself.
unstoppable.
You cannot run away from yourself. And what most people are doing, they don't know who they are. When you learn who you are and the gifts that God has given you for service to humanity, it's over. It's over.
The
That's your source
clarity,
of value. What's that,
the,
Glenn?
the clarity picture that she's talking about is a humongous diamond. That's
Wow.
the so apply that.
Amen. Over to you, Brenda.
Oh, I
Sorry.
like
I'll be
that
taking
idea.
that this evening.
I like that idea. Where's that diamond? Can I
Come
see it? Can I
on.
see it? Ah,
Your
that's
best
awesome.
friend.
All righty. Well, you guys know what I love to say, that we are Surge #1 travel team. We're all winners. I look forward to seeing you all on the presentation tonight. It's going to be great. The more the merrier. And I want everybody to just, hey, clarity. Where's the diamond? I love it. I love it. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll be seeing you on the beaches of the world. All righty now. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.